Grande concert. Dozens of people.
Hey guys, I'm live, and to those of you, I gotta remember where the camera is, but there was a situation in the United Kingdom, and a lot of news stations are not getting the information that BBC World is putting out. There was an explosion at the Manchester Stadium, and I was asking all my friends to please check in and everything. I don't know if I can, let me switch this so you guys can see.
We are working closely with National Counter-Terrorism Policing Network and UK intelligence partners.
Hello, and thanks for joining us here on BBC News. I'm David Eads, and joining me is Ben Bland. Police say at least 19 people have been killed, 50 others injured in an explosion at the Manchester Arena in the northwest of England, and they're treating it as a terrorist incident.
Witnesses reported hearing a loud bang in the venue at the end of an Ariana Grande concert. Eyewitnesses described nuts and bolts strewn around the floor and the smell of explosives. 60 ambulances attended the incident.
The Prime Minister, Theresa May, has said her thoughts are with victims and their families. She described it as an appalling terrorist attack. And Downing Street says an emergency COBRA meeting, that's the Cabinet Office, is expected to take place at around 9 o'clock in the morning local time, so in about 3 to 4 hours from now.
Our correspondent Ed Thomas is close to the scene of the incident in Manchester. He joins us from there live now. Ed, just bring us up to date with the latest there at the scene.
Well, the sun is rising now over Manchester, and this is what people in the city are waking up to. Cordons around the north end of the city. That's stopping people getting towards the train station. Further over there to my right is the arena. That is all cordoned off. You cannot get in or out of there as investigators try and piece together what happened here. What we do know, 19 people have died, lost their lives in this, 59 people injured, and many more people affected and cannot forget what they saw inside that arena. We can now speak to Stephanie and your daughter Kennedy. Thank you so much for joining us. You can tell you're big Ariana Grande fans. You were in there and the explosion happened. As calm as you can, just take us through what you saw, what you heard.
So we were diagonal from where we think that it happened, and just towards the last song she let a load of helium balloons down, quite large, and this bang happened, and we thought, we looked at each other and then we were like, no, it can't be something that you see on the news all the time, that doesn't happen to people like us. So then we were like, oh, it's balloons. So everyone kind of calmed around us, and then all of a sudden everyone just started screaming and running in every direction, and there was one girl diagonal, wasn't there, and she tumbled from over the seats.
She went over about three seats. She went with such a force.
And then we made our way out, and there were lost shoes and lost phones.
We got up to the top of the staircase, and we'd asked the steward, where should we go? He didn't know where to send us, so we got up and we turned, and in effect we were running towards where
the foyer.
Yeah, the foyer. Where if it was a shooter, then we were running totally the wrong direction.
And is that what you were thinking? Yeah. Is it a shooter?
Yeah. I mean, I think that was my first thought, because I don't know, it didn't sound loud enough to be what it is suspected to be. And then we made it out, and everybody was going all directions. So we thought, well, we're not going to run with all them in case it was a shooter, because that might be where they go. So we hid under a bridge, which is just
over the road.
Just over there. And
we stood
that bridge is near the arena.
About 40 minutes.
And I thought, we can't stay here all night, but it was really, really, really scary. We didn't know where we were safe. We went to the hotel behind us, and they very kindly were serving tea and coffee and bringing it out to the ambulance and the police and everything that were around here. And then somebody came in and offered us a lift home. I didn't know this person. I had no idea who this person. I wasn't going to get in a car with somebody I didn't know. I probably would have done yesterday, but certainly wasn't going to do it after this experience. The most frightening experience of my life. It was total chaos.
And as soon as we came out, the police and ambulances were all there. I mean, they did an amazing job.
So quickly. We've got to, take your hat off to them. They were there before it happened, really.
And we've heard that some unaccompanied children were in the hotel behind you.
No,
Did you?
Well, we didn't see any. I mean, a woman came in not long ago, it was probably an hour ago, asking if we knew someone, and no one had been in there that was unattended children. I mean, there were young children in there, but with parents.
Before they were posting pictures of the children that were missing, like one mother is looking for her daughter, the father is in a pub in Manchester, that's where they told him to stay and everything. They've been posting a lot, and a lot of the news media isn't turning to BBC World to find out what's going on, because there is no confirmation it was a suicide. There was no confirmation it was any of those other ones and everything. They're going to report at 9 o'clock their time, so if anyone wants to stay up, feel free to turn into BBC World News. If you have Cablevision, which is Altice now, it's channel 104. It's been going on since the incident happened. I have it on all night. If you have Time Warner, which is now Spectrum, check your local thing for that one and everything. And please check on your friends in Manchester and all of England. If you have any friends there, tell them to check in. The check-in is on Facebook and everything. At the same time, I had posted something on Facebook that said, life is too short. I'm not going to post that here on YouTube, because I was talking about how you stop fighting with people, stop and realize that every life is precious and everything. And after this, life is too short. 19 are dead, 60 are injured. They're in the hospitals, and they just said they lost phones, shoes, and everything trying to get out of that place and everything. So hopefully they'll show the pictures of the children that have been, because there's a lot of people posting on Twitter, as well as many other sites, trying to find all their family members and everything. So if you want to watch and see if you know somebody that was in the pictures or anything, that you know they're safe, please watch and everything. But right now, BBC World is the only one that's reporting on it. All the other stations are going to show later. Right now, all you see is basically young children, and it's one of those and everything, like, you know, I mean, and all that. This is the trucks that are there.
What we've been through. Yeah. So I just want to get out of Manchester.
You know.
And you're from Blackpool, aren't you? But your car's in the arena.
In the arena. We've just been told that it's probably not going to be able to get it out today, so we're going to go home.
And a word for the security services who were so quickly here on the scene.
Yeah, amazing.
I mean, they ran into it. I mean, they were there before we were even out, and they were in there.
Who did you see? Paramedics, police officers?
Yeah. We saw the riot
police with
the armed.
Oh yeah, they were incredible. I mean,
they don't know what they're running into.
Okay.
Amazing.
All right, Stephanie Kennedy, thank you so much for taking the time out, and I hope you get home quickly and safely. Thank you so much. Thank you. The voices of a mother and daughter there. Like many people who we've spoken to, they're not from Manchester. They appreciate the response they've received here in Manchester, but they just want to get out. They want to get home to loved ones. Whereas right now there is an investigation going on, counter-terror police, Greater Manchester Police, to try and piece together the evidence to find out what happened here.
Ed, thank you very much indeed. Ed Thomas there in Manchester. As I say, they're trying to piece together what happened. They will be garnering any evidence they can get their hands on. Now, one of the fans inside the arena did actually capture the moment when fans heard that explosion.
Well, we've heard from the British Prime Minister Theresa May in the last few minutes issuing a statement saying we are working to establish the full details of what's being treated by the police as an appalling terrorist attack.
Well, she goes on to say, all our thoughts are with the victims and the families of those who've been affected. We've also heard from the leader of the opposition at the Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn. He has tweeted, "Terrible incident in Manchester. My thoughts are with all those affected and our brilliant emergency services." And just to add to that, also the Scottish National Party was due to launch its election manifesto this morning, in fact, Tuesday morning, and the leader, Nicola Sturgeon, has announced that they are suspending their campaigning and they are suspending also the launch of their manifesto as a result of the events in Manchester.
If This is confirmed as a terrorist attack. It would make it the worst such incident in Britain since the London bombings in July 2005, when more than 50 people died. Greater Manchester Police gave this statement.
I can confirm the details of last night's incident as we currently know them. At around 10:33 p.m, we received reports of an explosion at Manchester Arena in the city centre. This was at the conclusion of the Ariana Grande concert. Currently, we have 19 people confirmed to have lost their lives in the explosion and around 50 casualties that are being treated at 6 hospitals across Greater Manchester. My thoughts are very much with those that have been injured and lost their lives and their loved ones at this terrible time. We are doing all that we can to support them. Officers from Greater Manchester Police and Emergency Services are working at the scene and are supporting those affected. We are coordinating the operation here at Greater Manchester Police Headquarters. An emergency number is available for all those concerned about their loved ones or anyone who may have been in the area. The number is 0161 856 9400. We are currently treating this as a terrorist incident until we have further information. We are working closely with National Counter-Terrorism Policing Network and UK intelligence partners. This is clearly a very concerning time for everyone. We're doing all that we can, working with local and national agencies to support those affected as we gather information about what happened last night. As you will understand, we are still receiving information and updates, so we'll provide further detail when we have a clearer picture. I want to thank people for their support and ask them to remain vigilant, and if they have any concerns at all, to report them to the National Anti-Terrorist Hotline. The number is 0800 789 321. It is important also that people here in Manchester avoid the area around Manchester Arena so that emergency services can continue to effectively deal with the incident at that location. Thank you very much.
So yeah, and I'm trying to wait for them to show the thing about the children so you can see some of the pictures of the children that are still being... I think this might be it.
Let me give you the police emergency
That's the emergency number they just said and everything.
0161.
But guys, this is live happening, and it seems that people are not concerned about this. This could have happened here. This could have happened anywhere and everything. And let's see, social media to find loved ones. So let's see,
didn't have a lot to say other than lay out the
trying to see what they're doing, like for the social media part of it, how everyone's helping everyone. But the people in Manchester have been helping a lot of people.
7 hours since reports first came in of that explosion at Manchester Arena, and there is now,
as I'm watching it, I'm trying to figure out what they're doing, because there was this couple of families that are looking for their kids, and they're posting on Twitter, everything. They're going to live feeds like this, and I have friends that are, you know what I mean, over there, and I know one of my friends does live in Manchester, and another friend does live on the outskirts.
Gather evidence. They're trying to piece together exactly what did happen.
Let's see if they show the children. I really want you guys to see the children.
As well as emerging of those caught up in this incident, those injured. We know that paramedics treated...
They're at the hospitals, then, okay, the injured are at the hospitals.
Witnesses said they saw nuts and bolts on the floor.
Nuts and bolts on the floor. Sounds like what happened in Times Square, where I had just missed. I was supposed to go down, we were in Times Square, and we were supposed to go to 23rd Street, and I had went home. Something told me to go home. It sounds just like the ball-bearing one and everything, but they're still finding more details out and everything.
Some bruises, some broken bones.
Let's see.
But I think the really shocking thing, and what many people
they're not showing the kids yet. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to turn this off, and they're going to show the kids, and that's the one thing I wanted you guys to see. If you are on here from England, if you are on here in Manchester and you're watching live, if you know these kids, help find them, you know? Like, let's see. Ariana Grande said, "I'm so sorry, I don't have words."
Who on earth would want to specifically target them in this kind of attack? And
Let's
we've also
see,
seen on
emergency
social
numbers.
media, some
It's one of those
parents
crazy
are still
things and
looking
stuff
for their
that
children,
you don't know what's going to
and they're
happen.
using social media as a
And
way
now you
get
got to watch
that
all these venues like New York
appeal out.
Comic-Con, everything
We
else.
haven't heard from them since last night, and it's hard to imagine
And
what
let's see.
they'll be going through.
Well, like the other
People
mother
are
said,
gonna
phones
hear
are
from
lost and
one of
everything and
those,
stuff.
mums desperately anxious in just a moment.
Oh yeah, they're going to talk to her in a moment
You make the
and
point
everything.
about when this happened as well.
They're talking a lot about this, guys. And like I said, you guys have got to understand, life is too short. This happened all because somebody felt that life has to end, that we have to make a point. We have to, it could be that. They won't know until later on when they get all their evidence together. And that's the sad thing about how you play telephone. News medias and everything. Everyone kept saying suicide bomber, this, everything. No, they don't know what's going on. And that's why I kept telling everybody, tune into BBC World. Their live coverage, everything. It's their country. It's their stuff. And everything. Like if something happened in Spain, if something happened in Mexico, you go to the Spanish channels. You go everything. You don't worry about telephone with everything because no one knows what's really going on unless they give the information out. So it's all speculation. Like all night, they kept saying that there's no correspondence or confirmation of what we're saying to the United States and everything. So right now, like I'm waiting for them to show the kids because that's the one thing I'm concerned about, the kids. And I mean, I understand it's a different culture out there. You let the kids go by themselves and everything and stuff. But after what happened here, we don't really let the kids go by themselves. Even some adults don't go by themselves, you know. Has to fight to go by themselves. But I am like, I'm trying not to cry. That's the thing, because I'm an empath. And if you could, I wish you guys could feel what I feel off these children. The ones that are in shock and everything, because they're crying inside. Or some of the adults that were there and everything, they're crying inside as watching this, you know. And I'm hoping they go to the one with the mom really soon, because I don't know how long my phone's going to last. But I've been on Facebook Live showing you guys what's been going on. I've been on Twitter. I have been everywhere because it's something serious. And like I said, I have a lot of people that really don't like me over there because of a situation. But you know what? If this isn't a wake-up call about how we should treat people and get to know people before we accuse them of things, this is a wake-up call. So it says 59 are wounded, 19 dead. And there are still armed police on the streets. Armed police on the streets. It's we had 9/11. They had 2005. Now they have this. You know, technically we had the one before that too, when they got underneath in the garage and everything. So we can sympathize, us here in New York, what they're going through right now. So 9 a.m. UK time. 9 a.m. UK time. Tune into this. They're going to have a press conference. Now, it's already 5:18 there. 5 o'clock in the morning. If you're willing to stay up or go to sleep and set your alarm. 19 killed. Who are still unaccounted for in one way or another. In fact, a short time this is they're going to talk about.
At that concert,
they're looking for her daughter Olivia.
Hasn't been able to make contact with her since. They have no idea at this stage where their daughter is.
She was going to go down into Victoria Station, get the tram with her friend to Bury, and then she was going to be picked up by her friend's parents and then dropped off home.
Right, and she was with a group or just one friend? How many others?
Just one friend.
Right, and I presume you haven't been able to speak to the friend either?
The friend I've just found out the friend has been found, he's in hospital, but Olivia hasn't.
Right, okay, we've got a picture of your daughter just up on the screen. I appreciate you also using Twitter to get the word out. Have you been able to speak to the hospitals yet? Are you presumably trying to do the same sorts of calls?
I've phoned every hospital, I've phoned the police. She's registered as a missing person because she's not registered at any hospital yet.
Right, that leaves you obviously in a desperately uncomfortable position. The emergency number we've been putting out, I presume you've been in touch with them. You've just got to hang on and wait. She would have a phone. I guess you've tried that.
Yeah, her phone's dead. Her father's out looking for her. I've got friends out looking for her as well. Social media has been such a help. There is so many people out there looking for her. People I don't even know are contacting me saying that they're going out and they've got a photo and they're going to go out and look the streets for her.
Yeah, well, just give me a sense as to, I mean, obviously she was going out for what she would have seen as a great night, a great evening with a friend.
Yeah. It was Adam's birthday treat, and he asked Olivia to go because Olivia's been poorly for a while, and he thought it'd cheer her up because she's not had a social life for a while because she's been so poorly.
So, just trying to work out, Charlotte, I mean, obviously your state of mind, I can't really imagine. You must be extremely anxious, but you need, I suppose, to have a sort of a game plan here, don't you, as to how you tick off the various points that you might imagine she would go to or be taken to. Are people actually going round to the hospitals for you?
Yeah, there's somebody who's gone around the hospitals. There's someone been round all the safe collection points where the children have been taken. Her father has now been put in a pub in Manchester and been told to stay there and await for any more news. I'm sat at home waiting for any news, just in case she does turn up at home. I didn't dare leave the house.
Well, the picture there, sorry, was of Olivia Campbell and her mum, Charlotte Campbell, talking to us about the problems she's having of tracking down Olivia.
We've had a response from Ariana Grande's manager about what happened. On Twitter, he wrote, "Tonight, our hearts are broken. Words cannot express our sorrow for the victims and families harmed in this senseless attack. We mourn the lives of children and loved ones taken by this cowardly act. We're thankful for the selfless service tonight of Manchester's first responders who rushed towards danger to help to save lives. We ask all of you to hold the victims, their families, and all those affected in your hearts and prayers."
Now, as we heard from Sarah a moment or two ago, some of those people who were caught in the mix reported nuts and bolts strewn around the floor in the arena, also the smell of explosives, and one man said he was thrown several metres by the blast. When he got up, he saw a number of people sprawled on the floor. Gary Walker and his wife from the city of Leeds were injured by the explosion as they waited at the box office entrance to pick up his daughters.
So if anybody out there can get to the social medias and start spreading those kids' pictures to find them and everything, do that, as well as many other things. But this is what's really going on. And if you want to find out the information, just tune into them right now, okay? And please, just help them out. They already got hit once a couple of weeks ago down by Westminster and all the other stuff and everything. Now, you got this. So, yeah, guys. So I'm going to let you guys go now, but if you want the real information, BBC World has it and everything, okay? Guys, be safe and everything.
Gary Walker
Hold on, what are they going to say now?
That he saw as he was waiting there at the arena. A short while ago, Ariana Grande herself went onto Twitter and wrote, "Broken from the bottom of my heart. I am so, so sorry. I don't have words."
Okay.
Well, that's response from the performer herself. We're getting, Sarah, a response from politicians, not surprisingly, from the Prime Minister and further afield.
Yes, absolutely. In the last couple of hours, a statement was put out by the British Prime Minister, Theresa May. I'll just read a bit of it to you.
So they're repeating everything. So, guys, tune into everything. See what's going on. Like I said, help those in need. If you guys live in the area, help those. And do what they say. But if you want the real story, go to BBC World. And they're telling you what's going on and stuff, all right? But be safe. And just be a check-in on Facebook. Check-in. The check-in for Manchester's there. Just tell everybody you're safe. Bye.